It's time to talk about the truth of AMC stock, and some people might like this, some people might not like this, but no matter what side of the boat you are on, there is an undeniable truth here, and that's what I want to express to you guys here in this video, as well as go over some things that you guys need to know, like the Ortex data, like the Stock O tracker data, so on and so forth. So we're gonna get into this video. Thank you guys for tuning in here on this Saturday. It is never a bad time to get your financial education on, and you guys are already winning as far as in the personal finance realm just by growing your education and being actively invested in the markets. All bad things do eventually pass, just like this downturn in AMC stock. So let's get into it. If you guys have not got your free stocks already with Webull, Moomoo, and Public down below in the description of this video, make sure you guys take advantage of that while it does last. And if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time every time I make a trade or breaking news comes out, we like to post those things down there as well. Link in the pinned comment for that. So what is the truth here? Well, the truth of AMC stock is we used to be much higher. Right? In June 2021, we rallied to $72.62 per share at the peak. We did most of this move in one day. We rallied about 95.22% from $35.59 per share was the low, all the way up to that high that I just previously mentioned. And then we traded sideways. And then we started to trade slightly ever to the downside as the markets became really risk off. We have fallen to these lows that we currently sit at around $12.50 per share. That's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is you have had some people walk away from the stock. You've had some people walk away from the markets. That's also the truth. What else is the truth is it seems like we cannot hold a major rally. We can get major rallies. We can see 200% rallies going from $12 to $35, but we can't seem to continue on that rally. Now, why is that? Well, the truth is the SEC, hedge funds, the goddamn president, everyone is against the retail investors. And I got to throw the president in there because look at what they're doing to the price of gas. They could jawbone that down tomorrow, right? Everyone is basically against you guys. That's the truth. What is also the truth is that these hedge funds will stop at nothing to prove you wrong. Look at articles like this from the Motley Fool. 3 reasons to buy AMC Entertainment stock and 1 to sell. Or look at some of these other articles. 3 reasons AMC stock will remain in a flat spin even as Top Gun flies high. You guys want to know another truth? The SEC does not want you to win. They do not want you to invest in stocks like this where a small amount could turn into a very large amount of money. Look at the SEC's video they just posted making fun of all retail investors, meme stock investors, quote unquote, whatever you guys want to call it. And what's the underlying truth to that as well is because, yes, this is a big risk to the financial system. But are you causing that risk? No, you're not causing that risk. Essentially, the hedge funds have created that risk for them, and they are in way too deep. So you got to have the SEC coming out and making claims like that, making videos. They put a lot of effort into that, so it's kind of comical to try to steer you guys away from stocks like that so the hedge funds can just short them into the ground and, you know, divert that potentially big market risk or big liquidity event that could possibly happen. Now, here's another truth. The hedge funds continue to short the stock into the ground. The short interest continues to climb, now much higher than it even was back in June. 23.43% short interest of free float, 120.79 million shares that are sold short. Cost borrow minimum 3.54%, cost borrow average 14.05%, cost borrow maximum at almost 20%. That's the truth. 100% utilization, days to cover sitting at 3.5, shares out on loan 179.57 million, actually up about 3% over the past 7 days. Free flow out on loan up almost 3% over the past 7 days, sitting at almost 35%. These are all the truths. What's the truth of the matter when it comes down to a short squeeze? Well, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. There's no other way around it. Do we know what day? Do we know when? Do we know what will necessarily be the main driving factor that will cause it? Absolutely not. But are we getting signs that we're on the right direction? Yes, every time the SEC makes a video discouraging, retail investors from buying quote unquote meme stocks, really shows how fragile the system is right now and shows just how bad this event is going to be for the overall financial system, for the hedge funds, right? We even just had the Federal Reserve, Fed Jerome Powell himself during the Fed minutes came out and said, due to the lack of supervision in commodity markets as well as equity markets, there could be systemic problems and systemic risk that we don't know about that could be connected to a rise in certain stocks or certain commodity prices that put a lot of pressure on banks as well as broker dealers, so on and so forth. So I think it's very clear that we are winning and we are on the right path to getting there. Now, what is going to start the moass? What is going to cause it? When is it going to happen? That truth is, I can't tell you, but we can talk about things that have affected AMC stock in the past, like the executive order, which caused the first and second moass-like events in AMC stock. What is also the truth is that essentially the whole entire market at this point knows about AMC. They know about retail stocks. So that is a lot of potential buying power that will flood into the stock when it does start to rally. Even your large, big time investors, they know the possibility when retail investors get together, buy a stock, when there's a lot of FOMO, when there's a very high short interest and a lot of option activity and a lot of manipulation in general. These other hedge funds, they know this. That's why you see some very large orders going through on the option chain for AMC stock. So you are going to see a certain degree of FOMO that you have never seen before when this third time comes around from people that have once held AMC stock. That's why I say I don't care if you buy, hold, or sell AMC, because with about a 95 to 99% probability, when AMC stock does start to move massively, right, 30, 50, 100% days, those people are going to jump back in. They're going to jump back in. Even if they don't, there's enough fuel on the fire. Even if a portion of them jumps back in, they're going to be jumping in at the peak of the FOMO. And I would imagine like everyone essentially would jump back in. That there's something crazy about, if you once owned a stock that didn't do well and then it now all of a sudden does, people tend to plow even more money in the second time around rather than even the first time around. So there's that, and that could explain why you see a lot of those weird options coming through that are very, very far out of the money as of recently. Now, we do have the executive order, and that is the truth, that did cause the first and second rallies with AMC stock, and it is the truth. It did go into effect on Friday, and it also is the truth, in my personal opinion, that this next upcoming week will likely be very, very bullish because of it. But is it the truth that we're 100% without any chance of, failure going to go through the moass this next upcoming week? Well, I can't sit here and tell you guys that. That's not 100% the truth. That's not 100% what has to happen. It's what history has showed us can happen. But really, I think the whole month of June is going to be very, very important. I've had my eyes really set on the end of summer, fall time to actually see the moass. But this executive order does change things up just a little bit. But what is the long story short? What is the consensus here out of this video? It's that no matter how long it takes, no matter how long you have to wait, which is your personal opinion and choice if you want to wait, but no matter how long it takes, it's going to happen. It's inevitable when the short interest is this high, right? And when the activity and the eyeballs on AMC are so high. Like, for an example, AMC in Google searches, AMC stock was searched more than the word stimulus check in 2021. Just to put that into context of just how many people actively search AMC stock on a daily or weekly basis. Now, it's inevitable. And I know I've said that a couple times, but when you see the shorts that continue to short the stock to these record high levels of 23.5% short interest of free float, they could easily be covering right now at a profit, but they're not doing that. And I think a lot of AMC is actually traded based off of algos, right? Even this article, this is about liquidity in the U.S. stock market, February 7th. Risha Bahardi says liquidity is abysmal is the way I would describe it. And they go on to blame that the basically trading algorithms are the reason for this, right? That a lot of individual investors are not really going into riskier assets anymore. So you have a lot of things that are working in our favor. Lower liquidity. We're going into a recession, right? Interest rates are going up. Portfolio values are down. So it's very hard on that front to actually service those margin calls. And look at all the option activity that you have on the option chain as well, right? 5,000 for calls that are in the money for June 17th, 277,000 for calls that are out of the money, 118,000 puts that are in the money for June 17th, July 15th, 7,200 calls that are in the money, 339,000 calls that are out of the money, and 54,000 puts that are in the money for July 15th. So a lot of potential buying power here over the next couple of weeks, and this trend has not changed. No matter what has happened with the stock, you've seen these very large expirations, and even throughout the rest of 2022, there's a lot of very large expirations even coming up. So what's the consensus here? Well, the consensus is no matter how long it takes, this will come to fruition. There's literally no other way to put it. There's no way it cannot if shorts don't cover when the stock is down, right? If you don't see shorts that come out here pretty quickly and start to cover as AMC is sitting around $12, $13, $14, $15 per share, then odds are these algos, they're just going to continue to short the stock until it culminates into one large event, and then they're forced to cover. Probably see bankruptcies, right? Massive margin calls, so on and so forth. So it's only a matter of time, in my personal opinion. The market environment is certainly there, and liquidity is certainly stretched. So it's going to be very hard for them to service margin calls the same way they did in June to remain in these short positions. They're more than likely, the vast majority of hedge funds are going to be forced to cover during this next rally. So that's what I have for you guys here in this video. That's the truth about AMC. And that's why I don't care if people buy, hold, or sell. That's why I don't care how long it takes. That's why I don't care what happens. I buy and I hold. I buy options sometimes, and that's what I do, right? But we're never going to know for sure what's going to be the main driving cause or when it's actually going to happen. My personal opinion is it's going to be very soon. It's going to be very soon because of the executive order, because of where the markets are currently at. But that's only my opinion. Let me know your opinion down below in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Get your free stocks with Webull, Moomoo, and Public. And if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the pinned comment for that one. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next one.